Hello, this is Pastor Roland, checking in to see how you're doing. Hope you're doing well. Keep sending in your prayer requests. I love prayer requests. And don't forget to pray yourself. Okay? Now, today I want to talk about another one in my series of videos on the most important verses in the Bible. And this time, where Christ said, resist not evil. Resist not evil. What did Christ mean by resist not evil? Okay? There's another verse in the Bible that we want to bring in to this discussion. It was written by Paul in Romans. He said, do not be overcome by evil. Overcome evil with good. Don't be overcome by evil. Overcome evil with good. Okay? Now, what did Christ mean by resist not evil? Well, let's see if I can keep it all very simple. Stress is killing you. Stress literally kills people. Admittedly, we are in the flesh. You know, we're a soul in a body. And so in the flesh, we're subject to the laws of nature, biology, physics. So the world is designed in such a way that stress brings something out. Okay? Stress brings something out. There's a reluctance to change, and then there's a pressure or a stress, and then change occurs. Okay? In the animal kingdom, one animal is conquered by another. Okay? One animal conquers the other animal and then often will eat the other animal. Or one animal conquers the other animal and gets its life force. Okay? So what's the expression? To the victor go the spoils. Okay, well that's the way God designed it. And don't be troubled by the fact that one animal will kill another one and eat it, and one animal dominates the other animal and then is entitled to, be the head of the herd or pack or the king of the jungle. Okay? Those are part of the laws of nature. And so, when it comes to stress, however, now remember, we humans are not merely bodies. We're not just animals. We're a soul in a body. Our soul actually belongs in another dimension. Okay? And our body belongs to this world, but our soul was destined for something different. Timeless dimension. So we're a soul in a body. And so there are different laws, different principles that govern human behavior than what governs animal behavior. Don't forget, we're created in the image and likeness of God. So, in the animal kingdom, the stress is reacted to by the other animal. And what will happen is that the animal that reacts to the stress is usually the loser. Okay? Or, if the animal reacts to the stress, draws forth his life force to fight, its life force to struggle, and then should win, then it's entitled to the life force of the other. I'm talking in terms of struggle. One animal seeking to conquer and take the life of another animal. Well, don't forget that there is a battle between good and evil. And we humans, we are like pawns in that battle. It's not your fight. Nevertheless, you'll be involved inasmuch as you will encounter people who will seek to stress you, to overcome you, to get over on you, okay, to um, to take your life. Okay? Out in the street, someone might try to take your money. Okay? Or someone might try to cheat you or rob you. Or someone might just be around you seeking to get reactions out of you in order to get you to comply or conform or do what they want you to do, or perhaps give up your life. Some people take other people's lives. They're like vampires. Okay? So now you see what stress is. Stress is a demand. Okay? Stress is a demand for energy, a demand for life. So when other people stress you, see, they may realize what they're doing, or they may not. Okay? I mean, your little kids, they stress you, but all they're being is just little kids, okay, running around and asking questions and getting into mischief and spilling milk, things like that, okay? And the reason it's a stress is because you're reacting improperly, without patience. See, you don't have patience, so it becomes a stress. So now you can already see I'm bringing in a principle, patience. You go out into traffic, and traffic is slow, and traffic is delayed, people cut in front of you and so forth. It ought not to bother you in the slightest. If it does, it's because you're reacting, because you don't have patience, and so you're reacting, and so you're making it into a stress. You are making it into a stress, and it takes your life. Okay? You react, react, react. When you react, you get upset. You do a slow burn. Your tummy gets upset. You get frustrated. Your blood pressure goes up. See what I mean? You use up your life. You're using up your life force reacting to things that you oughtn't to be reacting to at all. Okay? So where does the energy go? Well, the traffic doesn't take your energy the way one animal would take your energy if you were when two animals fight. But the energy goes somewhere. It dissipates into the air, or who knows where it goes. But it's gone. You only have a limited amount of life force, and then there's no more. So I can't go into all the details. I've studied this extensively for decades now. Dr. Selye is the father of stress research, and he wrote some excellent books, The Stress of Life and Life Without Distress and Eustress, and I forget the names of his books, but he was just excellent. And then others have continued in his footsteps. But the point is that stress is a demand for energy. So, I said that there are stresses in life that are not evil, just little kids or people asking questions or traffic or the wind blowing on you. See, those are stresses. And to a certain extent, like I said, we're living in the flesh, so your body will react just to the stress of wind or heat or cold. See, the need to do something, to get out of the rain, or to work, to do your work, to complete the task, and see that sort of thing. So there are those kinds of stresses. Okay, but many of those stresses are healthy. Healthy in as much as, yes, they do take some of your life force, but then afterwards there's a kind of a refreshing that occurs. Okay, a refreshing, because it's healthy. Okay, it's invigorating. All right, but there's unhealthy stress, and that's when people stress you with evil. They do bad things. They say bad things. They say what they don't mean. See, they say yes but mean no, or they try to trick you or fool you, or they have a secret agenda. They want something from you. They're not completely honest. They're sneaky. See? You're dealing with something in a person that is not wholesome. See? And they may not realize. See, they themselves have been victims of people who took their energy. See? And now they are bereft of energy, and now they crave life from others because they themselves need to replenish what was taken from them. So it becomes a dog-eat-dog higher pecking order, one person draining another, and then that person going to draining another. So somebody goes to work and they get upset at work. Then they come home and yell at their kids, and their kids get upset, and then the parent takes the energy from the child, you see. So it's not good. So now do you see, resist not evil. If you resist evil in the way that most of us do, which is with what? Resentment. We resent evil. See, we resent the person. We resent the person, and then we respond with something or other. With anger, with frustration, with rage, with pent-up hostility, with a feeling of, defeat. If somebody gets to you and you get upset, then afterwards you feel what? Defeated. Okay? Because you were defeated. So how do you overcome? So then now you see Paul said, be not overcome by evil, overcome evil with good. You can't overcome evil with resentment, hostility, judgment, trickery, cruelty, meanness, all the things. You fall. See, evil wants you to fall to its level. See, as long as you don't respond with resentment, hostility, and anger, as long as you are patient, in other words, respond with reason, with reasonableness, okay, then you don't lose the moral high ground. Remember, there's a battle going on between good and evil, and we humans are created in the image and likeness of God, so we're not just animals. But if you fall to being an animal, you lose your energy. If you fall to its level and try to use trickery or cruelty, they say something mean to you and then you say something mean back, and you see, not good. You fall, you lose your energy. See, eventually you can lose your soul. So don't resent evil. Now you see what resist means. Resist means resenting and then giving up life force through the struggle, the animal struggle. So your first line of defense is to stand back and observe and remain patient. In other words, don't react with resentment. Okay? And then, when you stand back, then something may come to you to say or to do. Maybe nothing is required. Okay? Which I have some videos on this topic. Maybe nothing is required, or maybe a word or a gesture, but it'll be intuitively inspired, it'll be right, it'll be proper. Okay? But when you reach into your own brain and try to dredge up something more cruel than what they did, or more tricky than what they did, you see? When you reach down into your imagination and your intellect to try to dredge up some more creative cruelty than theirs, then who responds down there? See, the devil responds. He gives you cruel ideas. But it's the devil's feast, one person judging another, one person hating another, one person being cruel to another, deceiving and being deceived, hating and being hated. See? All that sort of thing. So, be not conformed to the world, okay? A lot of people, they don't mean to be cruel. They don't mean to be hateful. They don't mean to do bad things. They've been programmed. They don't know what they're doing. They're being acted through. See? So don't hate them. That's the other secret. Don't hate the person. See? If they're doing something wrong, see that it's wrong. If they're in error, see that they're in error. See the wrong, but don't hate the person. Don't resent the person. Resist not evil. Okay? Don't give up your life to evil. It wants to take your life, and then it gets stronger. And if the other person is being acted through, see, the other person may not be evil. They may be a victim. Something got into them when they responded and reacted throughout their life to cruel people. It got in them, and now it's acting through them. So they're a victim. They're a prisoner in a sense. See? So if you hate them, then you're actually being in conformity with that inside of them that wants you to hate them. See, evil wants you to hate the person. Evil knows that that's a sin. See, remember, we're created in the image and likeness of God. We're not supposed to hate other people. Created in the image and likeness of God, even though they may be doing a bad thing or a mean thing. So don't hate the other person. That's what evil wants you to do. But when you're patient, you stand back and observe. See? What do they say? Hate the sin, but not the sinner. Okay? See, they're doing something wrong. See that it's wrong. Okay? Don't hate the person. That's the secret. So now you see, now you have the idea. Resist not evil. Resent not evil. Don't struggle with it. Stand back. Keep the moral high ground. Observe with patience. And say what comes to you, or do what comes to you. Maybe nothing is needed, but you won't have given up your energy to that which hates you, to that which wants your energy, and then it is stronger, and then it'll torment you. See, with your energy that you gave it. See, there's great principle involved. You may need to watch this video again, okay, and then watch some of my other ones about speaking up, or read some of my books. But I think I've made it clear today. Okay, resist not evil. Okay, and then Paul said, don't be overcome by evil. Overcome evil with good.